All right, man. Let's talk about Emoni Bates. All right, now Scott's reporters coming on Bleacher Report. That's Scouts are now saying that he is no longer viewed as a player, NBA prospect that you can build around. So you got to remember, man, he skipped a year. He should still be in his senior year in high school. We're gonna talk about that. Gonna talk about the article. All right. And these kids want to be so grown, man. I remember I used to grow up around people that just couldn't wait to grow up, couldn't wait to have sex, couldn't wait to smoke weed, couldn't wait to smoke cigarettes, couldn't wait to have their own. And these people, don't enjoy the process. He should still be in high school, dominating high school, competition. But whoever helped to make this decision, it could be several factors. Could have been college coaches, could have been parents, could have been a high school coach, could have been other outside noise, other what you call those advisors that he may have. It's pure ignorance. Okay, enjoy being a kid. LeBron could have did this if the rules permitted. I'm not sure if it did. Check out the college sports playlist. Check out the NBA talk playlist, right? And he's just, if anything, he should have went to somewhere like Oak Hill. You just can't go from playing high school kids, no matter if you taller, stronger, faster than everyone else. Look, every level, the competition level jumps. You go from, preschool, pre-basketball, lower rims. You go to elementary school basketball. You go to middle school basketball. You go to high school basketball. Those are jumps in competition. We seen guys who max out early physically. Remember the kid that was taller than everybody in school? Now you taller than him or eye level. But let's read it. His 17-year-old Emoni Bates NCAA experiment hurting his NBA draft stock, right? They said it's not too often NBA scouts find themselves evaluating a high-profile prospect in college for a draft that's 2 cycles away. So I explained that. So what happened was he basically, I can't even think of the word. He basically, joined college early. He reclassified is the word. So instead of being his senior year, he's in his freshman year. So he still got to spend one more season in college basketball, right? Or maybe he go overseas or whatever situation may be. Okay. But it said they've been torn watching 17-year-old Emoni Bates, who's been eligible, who won't be eligible to declare. Sorry, I got my puppy in my lap. To the NBA draft till he won't be eligible to declare until 2023. Nifty flashes or step back jumpers have been mostly overshadowed by insufficient play, but almost every dud game, bad miss, and cringeworthy mistake is followed by feedback that includes some type of asterisk referencing his age. Scouts have to weigh the freshman's poor execution against his unusually young age and a vast skill set for a 6'9" wing. Before exiting the lineup with the finger injury midway through December, Bates was shooting 37.4% through 10 games and 25 turnovers and 12 assists. His box plus minus is the lowest amongst the 11 Tigers averaging double-digit minutes. The difference between Bates' negative 0.2 BPM and the teammates' projected lottery pick, Jalen Durham's 7.5 BM, is staggering. Scouts already start questioning whether Bates' decision to attend Memphis was the right one for his development and stock, which is the natural question. A useful comparison is the case of Scoot Henderson, who turns 18 one week after Bates and is committed to 2 seasons as a paid member of the G League Ignite. Talking to scouts, Henderson has improved his image with the Ignite despite shooting 43.6% from the field and 17.4% from three. Since playing a bench role against pros, his percentage have been easier to look past. Henderson highlights greatly outweigh his lowlights in the G League, and some now see him as a realistic candidate to go first or second in the 2023 draft. Don't know the kid. After a month of college hoops, Bates is no longer viewed as a prospect NBA teams think about rebuilding around. Narratives had already started to shift during last year of high school as scouts became turned off by his shot hunting style and body language. His start at Memphis has only backed up the idea that Bates' trajectory doesn't appear as exciting as it once did. Okay. Um, assuming he returns to the lineup somewhat soon, he'll still have enough time to remind scouts about his scoring potential that generates so much hype during his first few years of high school. But it's also difficult to resist thinking ahead, especially if the struggles at Memphis continue. So, like I said before, man, let me interject and we'll finish reading. These guys, these kids want to be grown. Now, I know. I think his father around. He had committed to Michigan State, and that's where some of the negative energy got because he retracted to went to Memphis. All right, I'm a Michigan fan. I'm from Detroit. He Egyptian land submitted away. My thing is this, man. See how your family and decisions and outside decisions can hamper your ability, bro. And then also, he probably starting to bleed on hype in that 7, 16, 15, 17. Of course, you're going to start believing your own hype. I'm good. I'm 6'9". I can do everything. This, that, and the third. Can't nobody touch me. Whoop de blam. Whatever the situation may be. In my opinion, this is why you got to make sure you got the right people around you. Your parents got the best. Now, I'm not saying these parents don't have the best decision. They can be influenced by the money. They can be influenced by a number of things. Okay, and that's just a realistic. That's just a realistic thing. They can be influenced by other advisors or whatever the situation may be. But this is why you got to make sure you have maturity. I remember Jason Weaver said they offered him like 2 million, for his voice to do the Lion King. His mama was smart enough to know that no, we don't want 2 million. We want royalties and back end money. It was a flat fee. He said basically they took the back end money and he get paid for every year of his life off royalties, off of a cup, a mug, the single books they used to have. You know, when they leased the movie out, for whoever network they leased it out to, he get paid. He said the amount of money that he got through the years have outweighed. Okay, he said they have outweighed way more than $2 million. And Jason Weaver, played Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5 movie. You know what I'm saying? Who else he didn't play? He played a smart guy, the older brother, dark skin one. So he said the money have outweighed that. And I say that to say this: you always gotta have smart people in your corner. Those parents always gotta be looking ahead to the greater good, and the greater good was the loudest. In my opinion, look, this is easy to say in hindsight. In my opinion, was allowing this kid to grow up and be a kid and enjoy prime being a senior. And if that was an issue, then you send them to Oak Hill or you send them to a reform school, but like somewhere like Oak Hill or Montevino, whatever the one down there in Florida is called. You know what I'm saying? You send them there. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? This is, it's a talent gap, but we're gonna continue to talk about that because I just watched the DeMar DeRozan interview he done with Knuckleheads, and he said something very, 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 very. It must have been meant for me to see this. Very telling, and really mentioning this type of thing right here. So he said, will he return to Memphis for sophomore season if the first one continues to go poorly? His friends and teammate Durant seemed like a lock to leave in the 2022 draft. Does Bates pursue one of the pro routes, which could lower expectations, get stiffer competition, and offer NBA coaching, training, and spacing? What changes scenery even matter? Talking about the G League. Maybe Bates just isn't who we thought he was at 15, 16 years old. That's possible, but maybe it's all about patience and the idea he's still too young for the struggle to justify the downgrading. Had he not arrived at Memphis with a superstar comparison and prominent reputation, we likely be focused more on the positives than the negative. Now, they say the positives. They say the positives to build on the combination of height, shot making, and skill set separates Bates and fuels most of his upside as a scorer. Size and offensive skill package are similar to Brandon Ingram's, shooting off the dribble, pull up threat, and ball screen situation, transition, and step back threat out of isolation. When he's on tight defense isn't enough to force a miss, given his height and high release. And NBA three-point range isn't a problem for Bates, which he often likes to prove. His self-creation and perimeter scoring remain enticing and feel translatable. And he's clearly ahead in these categories compared to others. Now, okay, we don't even have to Say, okay, we need weaknesses. They just going around some stuff. So, um, they said finishing in traffic, decision making have been the most obvious for issues for Bates. In 10 games, he's made just 7 shots at the rim in half court, where he's converting a scary 38.9% of his attempts. He's totaled 3 dunks all season, 0 floaters. We've seen plenty of prospects improve their finishing at the next level as their body strengthen. They learn more nuances on the floor as the floor opens up, but there's plenty of questions about Banks' length, athleticism, physical development when projecting his paint scoring. During Memphis Pro Day, he measured at 6'7" and 1/4 wingspan, which will be the shortest of any 6'9" or taller player in the entire NBA Combine database. 24 and a half standing vertical with 31.5 max vertical also reflects a really limited bounce and explosion. He has trouble creating separation on layups and attempts in half court. And at 190, he hasn't added more bulk over the past. He hasn't added much bulk over the past few years. Aside from base tendency to buckle against contact, he doesn't show a high awareness for the angles or shot to take off the drive. His overall shot selection has been noticeably poor, which tracks back to the AAU in high school. A reliance on a lower percentage specialty jumpers and long two-pointers is a clear factor behind his 37.4% field goal percentage and 31.1% from the three-point mark. From three-point. Uh, in the preseason, Memphis thought he'd operate in a point wing role similar to how Coach Penny Hardaway did during his prime NBA years, but Bates has done little to show he has the mindset or passing IQ to add value as a setup playmaker. So they predicting that's just predict. Now look here, man. If you listen to all this that they saying about Bates, bro, he just don't have the experience. And as they let him learn, and if he to the point where you can't coach him no more, man, maybe they better off, putting him off the program or sitting him at home. But if he young, he's immature. And then he told him that you're gonna be the next Durant, the next LeBron James. He feeding into that. And that's what LeBron James get a lot of credit at for him to rise above that and continue to work hard. Then it sounds like he's not hitting the weight room. Now a lot of people don't like to hit the weight room in basketball because they say it messes up your shot. But one of the great things LeVar Ball said pertaining to basketball, which he does have 3 sons around the NBA ranks. Okay. He said when you lift weights, you have to keep shooting so you don't lose your form because you start to bulk up. He needs to be in the weight room, bro. He needs to be on a meal plan where he at least get his legs stronger. Weights, people just think it's bulk, but it's depending on how you lift. Weights increase explosiveness. LeBron, working out with LeBron, Kevin Durant, that'll help him. It increased explosiveness. Weight vest, squats, deadlift, clean and gene, the power clean, all that. Everybody just think you go heavy and you lift one. No, when you actually go there and you lift light, it's all about the form and explosiveness. Even when you do curls with 10 pounds, it's all about the form and how you explode or how you explode out or into the form. It's like, they got negatives. You come down slow, I believe, and you explode up. He need to be doing things like that. Dips, push-ups, type of that stuff. And it look like, he beyond, and I'm looking on the outside, I'm assuming. It look like he sound like the way they describing him is just true, and this is somebody's opinion. It seemed like he beyond criticism. His head got so big that he think he'd have made it. And this low point is going to tell you a lot about his character and a lot about his background. And his parents making this decision, they probably listened to somebody and didn't think this through. Let this dude be a kid, bro. And I remember DeMar DeRozan said in the Knucklehead interview they just released, he said coming from high school and going to college, it was a big difference. He said in high school he was able to use his athleticism, dribble. He had the green light. I'm paraphrasing. But he said when he got to USC, he had to learn to play basketball. It was structure. He never really ran a militant type plays, and it was all about structure and actually learning how to play. So you go to a kid who ain't even done with high school technically, and you put him in structure when he didn't have structure. When he was in high school, he take 3 steps over half court. He chucking the three-point. Now you put him in structure. He thought he was the shit. Now he found out he not the stuff. And like I said before, and then he got injured on top of that. So, of course, bro, he don't know how to play basketball, man. You see a lot of these young guys going to Kentucky. You see Juwan Howard recruiting these young guys in Michigan, right? and they failing, and these teams are flopping over the years. These one and dones are not as polished and fundamentally polished as the one Julius Randle, Anthony Davis, and guys of that nature. They don't know how to play basketball. And you can't come into the college basketball. It's all about structure. It's an amateur sport. It's a shot clock, unlike high school. You know, it's all about fundamentals. It's all about drive and kick. It's not as wide open as the NBA game. And if you don't know how to attack a zone, you don't know how to pass through a zone, you don't know how to really go against a traditional zone, you're gonna struggle. College basketball is not a wide open game. It's hard because you play in a traditional zone. In the NBA, you have to play a matchup zone. You have to play a player. In NCAA, you can play an area. That's just why you see these upsets happen in the NCAA title game. You have a great team of athletes, but if they can't shoot, me being able to play an area instead of playing a man area, you can beat these dudes. It's not the NBA, and that's something they should have thought about. The G League probably would have been better for him. Not as much competition, or not as much. It's a wide open game. You would have been living a pro lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You would have been getting paid, probably getting paid now. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to go against a traditional zone, and you don't have to do that in the NBA. He probably forcing it. He probably getting a little hole in a 1-4-4 or 2-3. He probably finding somebody penetrating and kicking, and he think he can just chuck it up. It's different, bro. And they probably got to sit him out and teach him how to play. He don't know how to play basketball. These young guys don't. They don't know how to attack his zone. They don't know how to be. He think he a star. And he found out real quick. College basketball don't care if you a star. You could be a great college basketball star, Danny Manning, Tyler Hansbrough, and not be nothing in NCAA. I mean, nothing in the NBA. He's learning how to be a militant basketball player. He's learning the fundamentals, the technique, how to I played in the backcourt with. Had to teach him you can't split the 2-3 zone. We had to teach him how to act like you're gonna split it and kick it. You know what I'm saying? These guys don't know how to flash. They don't know how to post up nothing no more. So this don't surprise me. To be honest, this don't surprise me. You see a lot of these one and done guys don't know how to play basic fundamental basketball. And this is exactly what they sound like they explained. They made a bad decision. Let them leave high school. If he was leaving high school early, go to the G League. You would have got professional coaching. You would have got a professional weight plan. And right now, it ain't Penny Hardaway for he think he know everything. And his parents and his people around him, and I'm assuming, no disrespect, they probably empower him thinking that he the shit. And you find out real fast this wasn't the route to go. Now you got to figure it out. If I'm his parents, you're going to stick this out. You're going to rise above this criticism. You're going to rise above this abyss that you in. You're going to learn to play basketball. If your parents got to move down there or your people got to move down there and make sure you do it. But you putting a 17-year-old kid with grown women on campus, with alcohol on campus. So everybody is not ready for that. It's got 20-year-old, 21-year-old kids that wasn't ready for that. He's not an adult. Everything he do should be a family decision. I remember J.R. Smith was when he made to the league. It was a family decision. His family lived in his mansion with him. Gotta make family decisions, bro. And this wasn't the right decision. Okay, anybody could have made this mistake, right? It was a mistake. He should have been a kid and allowed. But guess what? He got to understand, too, that everybody don't develop at the same speed. You got all that NBA coaching down there. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Learn how to post. Learn how to be crafty. If you got to go work with Paul Pierce this summer, go work with Paul Pierce. Go tap in, pay Paul Pierce a couple dollars. Paul Pierce wasn't athletic at all. He wasn't the best athlete. Go check out his dunk contest in Kansas. Going to Kansas in a high school game. Go learn how to get your shot off and be crafty. I'm not saying he won't be athletic enough, because if he lift the weights and if he work with a track and field coach and work on how to be explosive, work on how to build his lower body, build his hamstring, he will be a more explosive athlete. You have to work at. LeBron was working at being more explosive. Tap in with LeBron. First person I tell him tap in with is his coaches at Memphis, but Paul Pierce. Go spend the summer with Paul Pierce. If they fear that he won't have the height or the length to kick in, Paul Pierce will show you how to get that shot off. Paul Pierce will show you how to be crafty. Go to the neighborhood park. There's a guy in the YMCA league that can show you how to be crafty. How to show you how to show you not to be athletic, but get your shot off. He should be forming an old man game now just in case he can't be athletic. Paul Pierce is the guy he should be working with. Paul Pierce going to work on his pull-up game. Paul Pierce going to work on his IQ. He going to slow him down, how to make the right pass, not the flashy pass, how to make the right decision. Everything is about structure with him. It made me get a meeting with Bill Belichick. That's the ultimate militant shit. That meeting with Bill Belichick and Paul Pierce sent him up to Boston for a summer. And he had to understand, do your job, not more than your job. Greg Popovich is another great guy. Do your job, make the right play. He has the ability to make the right play. But he been given the green light and he had no structure. And that's the biggest problem at the basketball court. You know, and it's up to him. Is he going to let this define him? I know he in the great place, the dark place, and the abyss. Or he can make it out of there. You 6'9". You ain't done growing. You still going to get stronger. You still going to get longer. You know what I'm saying? But my advice to him, few things for him, get in that weight room. You know, you should only be going heavy at the bottom right now. You know, if you want to go heavy at the bottom right now, the squats will build the explosions, the front squats, the deadlifts, that's going to build explosion. And he really should be working on high reps, low weight upstairs, shoulders, back, pull-ups, you know, all that, lats with the free weights. He should be lifting in the summertime 5 days a week, bro. Get with a track and field coach and work on your explosion out the blocks. And they going to get you lifting weights to the lower body too and upper body. You know, go find Paul Pierce. Go find Greg Popovich. Pick their brains. Just in case you're not the athlete that you should be, learn to be crafty. Learn to make the right play. Learn not to do much. And I'll say go train with some pros. Go pick Durant. Go run with some pros. When they going to be running that, them little pros with Westbrook, LeBron, go run with them right now. This shouldn't let this define him. And everybody, I tell them this, everybody develop at a different rate. You should be in high school. You ahead of where you should be at. Okay, you your head a little bit above the water. You know, it is. But come on. Once you get through this, you know, when you go through little rookie walls and you go to the league and go through things, you'll be able to blow right past it. But those are things you need to do. You know, every basketball player is scared to pick up weights and shit of that nature. Pick them up. Don't have to be heavy. You know, dips, lats, push-ups, you know, 3-way push-ups. You got the diamond, you got the neutral, you got the wide. Do all of that. Little chest workout. You don't have to go heavy. You have to work on explosion. And weights get you explosion. Track and field get you explosion. They're going to put you on the weights too. That. And forget shooting the basketball right now. Work on dribbling. Work on that floater. And work on IQ. Watch the tape. Simple plays. Get you a long way. But hey, shout out to College Sports Playlist, NBA Talk Playlist. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you have a business question, inquiry, response, your video request, all my social media links, subscription. Twitter's the fastest way, and Facebook and Instagram. If you want to advertise on the channel, video request, chop it up, whatever it may be, all my social media links there. I want to financially donate to the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good313, Venmo, CJ Good313, roll at the bottom of the screen. Both of that's in the description. PayPal link exclusively in the description. Appreciate everybody that financially hold me down. Like, whoa, rest in peace, Black Rob. Best way to donate. Thumbs up the video, comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is hit the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications, go live, drop a video. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Peace.